The following video is Helldivers 2. This is just a funny intro.
We've received reports of a new Dominion salvage operation on Tarsonis. They're running a large number of supply trains with minimal security. If we intercept the trains and liberate their contents before they can be shipped off-world, we could make a serious profit.
Never thought we'd be back to this graveyard again. What have we got, Matt?
The Dominion's restored power to the old rail network. They're using the trains to move salvage to a central processing station. Our informants say the Dominion's found something unusually valuable, and they're transporting it to the processing station today. It's on one of these trains, but unfortunately they're all scan shielded, so we can't tell which one. We'll have to hit as many as we can and hope we get lucky.
Hope we get lucky? That ain't the usual Matt Horner plan.
You got a better one, sir. I'm all ears.
It's all good, Matt. You sold me. Well, let's go rob ourselves some trains. Old Tychus is gonna love this one.
And with that intro out of the way, I'm Quintessence42, your lone archiver, and this is a Helldivers 2 video, in case the StarCraft 2 opening confused you. I just figured since I was doing a video on the Automaton Convoy, let's just have a fun little intro in terms of that mission's intro, which is, you know, about killing convoys that progressively get harder, where this one, kinda you get 10 minutes as it tries to make its way through the map to take care of it. And it's 5 factory striders, so it's not an easy task for most players. We're, of course, you know, just going to duo it anyway, because that's what me and Box do around here. But first, we've got to find a good place to set up, which I think is the hardest part of fighting a convoy. Is an anti-air here. I actually say we try to run to the anti-air and set up there. During what I'm going to call my winter break, I've lost a little bit of my touch when it comes to OBS settings, and have ran into the slight problem of noise suppression not properly being implemented, so there's a lot of my loud-ass keyboard tippy-tapping and thuds that I'm just going to have to completely edit out of this video, so it's not going to be the cleanest work I've ever done. However, there is some good salvageable scenes in here of fighting the convoy. There's a lot more light bots than I would have expected at one of these. Then we might just want to back up this way. Light bots, of course, can call in a bot drop, which then would lead to more problems. We don't want to have to deal with a bot drop while we're also getting scrambled in terms of stratagem codes and having to deal with so many factory striders already. Because of this, we find a nice shot through the beach side here that lets us get set up with an anti-tank encampment. The first thing you're going to notice I'm going to do is I'm going to try and take out those top turrets. The shield generators can keep you pretty well protected from the chain guns on the front of them, but they can't really deal with the top turrets. I then just try to see, can you actually shoot out the jammer, or do you just have to directly kill that damn thing? And the answer is, yeah, you can eventually take out the jammer with shots. Seeing the next one come around the corner, though, I have to set up for that. And we slowly begin to be swarmed by gunships, because we had gunship patrols as a modifier, which adds some nonsense to this mayhem. Huh? Oh. That soft huh I did of confusion was honestly pretty funny. If you know that one cat meme where it's the cat that goes, huh? It has some of that vibes for me personally. This group of gunships suppressing us is actually a great example about why you don't want to have a bot drop on top of you when you're trying to take out the factory strider convoy. Because of the fact that they're pushing us down this hill and keeping us further away, we have to just make a mad dash out of here at some point to keep up, because that convoy will leave the mission area within 10 minutes or so, depending on the terrain type. Some bits of terrain can slow them down, they sometimes have to take a long way around some mountains, but for the most part, you have about 10 minutes to take care of them. It's hectic, but it's very fun. I think that this is the kind of side objective that bots needed for a good while, because it's not that common, because it's one of the ones where you can see it from the start of a mission, and there can only be one of those per mission. You can't have one that you see from the start of the mission and then have it not pop up. Like, for example, blowing up a legal research center. The convoy's ahead of us. We need to chase after it.
Tagging location.
Be careful of potential shots from here. I believe in this clip you just very plainly heard the keyboard sound effects that I don't want to have to take this whole mission's time worth just editing out all of them. It's really difficult to have my voice shine through clearly and have those edited out. So for that exact reason, we're, again, only really doing the convoy part of this. But factory starters are not that scary, especially when you can get behind them. In this situation, as we get through the ridge line, we are actually getting behind them, and I've thrown a walking barrage knowing there's probably other things we're going to have to deal with on the ridge. Outside of just trying to get behind them to get under them, you can just shoot out the front chain guns. Those are really going to be the most scary. The top guns can be easily outmaneuvered if you can just focus on trying to get under them. And even when it comes to having a weapon like this autocannon, for example, as long as somebody blows off the armor plate to expose the circuits, it's just as good as shooting under them. But we have another flight of gunships that gets in the way again, slowing us down. Fortunately, the walking barrage cleans up a lot of what we were trying to work on. I got it! Perfect.
Objective completed.
And it's not like this is the one niche of the walking barrage. If you're ever doing some kind of mission where you have to push up into bases, be it blitzes or command bunkers or even just the destroying air bases objective, this can be very useful for throwing it in at a distance and just letting it tear through everything. It's not as good with bugs because once one of them hears the sound of the shots going off, they're all going to make their way towards you. And as they make their way towards you, especially because of how quick most bugs are, they're essentially going to jump the gap of where it's shooting towards. So they'll have less time where they're in the line of fire of the walking barrage as they move in the opposite direction towards it as it moves towards them. With my whole spiel out of the way, I'm going to try and come back to making a little bit more content now that winter's over. Part of it is seasonal depression, part of it is just not really just wanting to vibe the current moment in content creation space. It's really weird for me to just try and find something that I feel like I want to do, because there is the merit of like, oh, well, everyone's doing content like this, that, or the other thing, and when I want to make content for a game, I want it to be just pseudo-original. It doesn't have to be a completely original idea, but it just has to be something I feel like has some use in the space, even if it's only to like 5 or so people watching it. And with that out of the way, I have been Quintessence42, your lone archiver. I'm signing off here. There will be a short outro for the same mission of StarCraft 2 that I showed in the intro, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and good day.
Sir, we're detecting electrical activity in the wreckage.
Now let's see what they were so fired up to get their hands on.
Adjutant 23-46 online. System recording. New Gettysburg Defense Initiative. Submit access codes.
Well, I'll be. It's an old Confederate adjutant. What intel's so important they'd go and dig her up to recover it?